There is a lot of breaking news to discuss on this episode of Wrestle Round, keeping you up to date on all the latest wrestling news and rumors. Today we got all the updates on the Vince McMahon scandal, reports of Sasha Banks being released from WWE, and more. So turn on those notifications and let's get into it. It seems like this week it's all about breaking news, and there is a lot to talk about in regards to the Vince McMahon situation. So let's talk all the latest, because this is serious. This is one of WWE's biggest scandal in the company history, likely since the steroid scandal in the 90s. Vince McMahon has been accused of paying $3 million to a WWE paralegal to keep an affair quiet. Reported by the Wall Street Journal, the board of WWE started an investigation into this back in April. The agreement prevented this former WWE employee from speaking about the alleged affair, and this person cannot say anything disparaging about Vince McMahon per that agreement. Do keep in mind that this is an ongoing investigation, which has already expanded into other non-disclosure agreements that involve misconduct claims made by other former female WWE employees about Vince McMahon and WWE head of talent relations John Laurinaitis. This connects to a report from last year in regards to John Laurinaitis, with Fightful and other sources indicating that John Laurinaitis is not very well liked by the female talent in WWE. They don't like him being in that position of power. Back to the Wall Street Journal report, they cited an email that stated that Vince McMahon increased the woman's salary from $100K to $200K after beginning the affair with her, and that Vince McMahon quote-unquote gave her like a toy to John Laurinaitis. Again, the WWE board is investigating the whole situation. There is a lot of questions right now whether or not Vince McMahon is going to step down. Is he going to quit? Is he going to sell? There is a lot that we don't know just yet, but it is worth mentioning that, of course, Vince McMahon has a lot of voting power in WWE within that WWE board of directors, and there is some that even believes that he would just survive this, and someone like John Laurinaitis could ultimately be the one fired. We will probably hear more about this within the days to come, so make sure to stay tuned in. As for the next WWE show, that is going to be SmackDown, and the Wrestling Observer Radio ended up indicating that both Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis are planning to be at SmackDown on Friday night as if nothing happened, because it is quote-unquote business as usual. How could it be just business as usual? It's kind of crazy. Maybe they have been preparing for this to basically go down, and they were already ready for it. And obviously this is just speculation on my part, but you gotta wonder if Stephanie McMahon ultimately left WWE because she knew this was going to happen. If that turns out to be the case, then previous reports of WWE burying Stephanie McMahon on her way out because she wasn't quote-unquote qualified to do her job, which she's been doing for years now, then all of that is probably fake if it does connect to all of this. And good on Stephanie McMahon for not trying to be part of all of this. Again though, that is just speculation, but you gotta wonder. Let's talk about some other quick news. AEW was apparently planning a tag team title run for the Hardys as recently as 2 weeks ago, but Fightful Select ended up indicating that their Double or Nothing match basically changed those plans. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that during the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, we all got to see it. Jeff Hardy was in a rough shape. He went out there and he not only looked banged up, but he did look intoxicated. Jeff was recently arrested and AEW suspended him until he gets some help, and they were probably going to win the title on this week's AEW Dynamite, as there was a title change with the Young Bucks winning the tag team titles for the second time. It's clear that the Hardys were going to get the title and then they were going to feud with the Young Bucks, but of course all of that changed. Sasha Banks is obviously making the most out of her ongoing WWE suspension, and she's currently sporting a brand new look, but that is not even the breaking news in regards to her her right now. But before we get into it, I do want to point out the fact that this is just a report. It is not confirmed by the WWE. So again, do keep in mind, Wrestling Inc. is reporting that Sasha Banks has been released by WWE. WWE has yet to officially confirm the release. Sean Ross Sapp of FIFO followed up by reporting that when he asked WWE about the release, talent relations didn't seem to know, so they didn't confirm that she has been released. Sapp did indicate that Raj from Wrestling Inc. does have good sources, so all of this is possible. More sources just need to confirm it. FIFO added that if it did happen, it'd been kept very quiet as of right now. It is worth mentioning that WWE sent an urgent email out this week to a live event venue to remove Sasha Banks from advertising for the event. But of course, I do keep in mind that this might just have been due to her suspension, as obviously she's not going to be showing up to anything WWE related anytime soon. So again, this is just an early report for the time being. Sasha Banks is still on the roster page. WWE reps haven't confirmed it, but it's possible that they are keeping it quiet. And considering what's happening with Vince McMahon right now and so many eyes on that situation, if the Sasha Banks situation is said to be true, there's probably going to be some breaking news being broken by WWE to try to distract everyone. That is all the latest wrestling news coverage for the time being. If you guys enjoy or find it informative, don't forget to elbow drop it and hit those notifications. I'll catch you on the next one, so stay savage.